Hello, beautiful people. Happy Memorial. Well, I don't like to say happy, but happy Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. I don't really like the happy Memorial Day weekend thing, considering the intent of the holiday itself. But it's Saturday. It's lunchtime, of course, and we are here on the Indulgent Islander for Memorial Day weekend. So, real quick. Memorial Day weekend is a time of the year that's very special for me. It's my birthday, which is one thing, but that's not really what the point is. It was my grandmother's birthday. We shared the same birthday. So historically, family-wise, that always meant that there was going to be a barbecue, usually at my parents' house or my house where I grew up. Obviously, over the times that changed, but many special memories for me, spending time with my family and friends. Years later, it became an opportunity to go down to the beach, whether it be Long Beach Island or the Jersey Shore, if you will. Had a great Jersey Shore conversation with Tony and Camelo from Sweet Al's a couple weeks ago, which was awesome. And yeah, so just like I said, a lot of really special memories for me for Memorial Day weekend. But I used to call it DeSimorial Day weekend, DeSimone Memorial Day. Which might sound extremely egotistical and childish, but the reality of the situation is, and anybody that participated in those various events, which included such events like Guzzlemania, which we'll save those stories for you guys for another day. But anybody that participated in DeSimorial Day weekend festivities, whether it was a house down the shore, down at the beach, or whether it was at my home, fun times were had by all. And so what I'd like to do this year is I'd like to bring you guys a little something special each day. We had a great day yesterday. RJ Torres and I out in Savannah, out in Starland at Laundry Diner, out in Sandfly at Rocky's New York Deli. I'm going to talk to you guys about that. We came back into Bluffton, spent some time at Butcher's Market and Deli over in the Berkeley Place Shopping Center. With another recording over there. We got a couple of things to button up next week, and then I've gotten a couple of questions where these spotlight videos, well, they're going to be coming at you fast and furious very soon, because RJ is working on editing those fast and furious. For those of you who are not familiar, editing 40 videos, I don't care how long they are, it is undertaking and then some, and he is my partner in crime. The Robin to my Batman, if you will. He really is the brains of the operation when it comes to the technical aspect of things. If it wasn't for StreamYard, shout out Justin Jarrett of Loco Sports for putting me onto this little doohickey. I wouldn't be where I am at this point. And that's really what this is going to be. This is going to be about gratitude. This is going to be about appreciation. And this is going to be about the original, authentic, indulgent Islander. You might even get an appearance from Easthausen. Very nice, very evil. For those of you who are not familiar with Danhausen, he's taking the NBA by storm. Ever since he uncursed the Knicks, they've won 9 straight playoff games, and they are 2 games away from making it to the NBA Finals, which is absolutely incredible. I'm on board. I was never a Knicks fan. I'm a Nets fan, born and bred. I worked there for a few years. But I have too many friends that are Knicks fans, and I have too much riding on this and I was just talking to Billy over at Rockies about this yesterday. You know, the funny thing about the Knicks and the Nets is like, and I don't own anything. I even said to Chef Brian over at the Laundry Diner, he wasn't there yesterday when we recorded. I said, I'm wearing my Mets gear for you. And said, he hasn't really been paying that much attention to the Mets, although they have been playing better these last couple of weeks. But the story is the Knicks. I said, well, I don't have Knicks gear, but I am rooting for the Knicks for a lot of my friends, whether it be Andrew Lombardo, whether it be Kevin Guzman. I'm not going to be able to remember everybody, but for those of you who are my Knicks fans, friends, I am 1,000% on board. It's not going to get any easier next week. If they are able to get past Cleveland and, get in and out of Cleveland with a win or two and wrap up that series. It's not going to get any easier when you get onto OKC, who basically um, you know the bench dominated the Spurs yesterday. Wemby had that incredible game before, but fact of the matter is that the challenge in the next round is going to be what's going to be difficult. So, but anyway, let's get to some food. Let's get to the enjoy every sandwich tour. You might ask yourself, why am I sitting here with dreadlocks on? Why am I wearing my Down with the Machine Wyatt family t-shirt? Reason for that is because today is Bray Wyatt's birthday, heavenly birthday. Wyndham Rotunda passed away a couple of years ago. He was one of my favorite performers, and he was a huge inspiration of mine. And he passed away in his sleep a couple of years ago. And I remember at the time I was doing some of these LO show interviews in my garage with local business owners, and I had a catchy, LO show theme thanks to Jevin Daly. You can find that on Spotify under my name, Nick D. Simone without the space. It's very, very catchy tune. But I was filming those in my garage, and I was, going through a little bit of a tough time in my life, and I decided to kind of take a break from that because I had one or two things that went sideways and with the recordings, and I decided to take a break. And I was thinking about that this morning. The only advice that I have to any of you guys that are trying to create something, you're going to have tough times. Just keep powering through it, because I was able to do that. Again, it took a couple of years, but that day when I closed the lights in the garage in my old studio, if you will, and walked inside, I wasn't sure if I was going to keep recording and stuff like that. And here we are with a podcast that is really catching fire. I'm going to announce it today, and I've mentioned it before. For those of you who watch, I want you to stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to have a very special Indulgent hour with my friend Chef Ray Robertson from the Darling Oyster Bar in Savannah. I hope you'll join us with that, because we are going to get into some pretty serious restaurant business stuff. It's not all going to be puppy dogs and ice cream, if you will. So if you're interested in that, we're going to catch up with her tomorrow morning before I head over to Hilton Head Island to spend the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend with my family. We're going to do a nice taco bar with some steak and shrimp and chicken and a bunch of other stuff. It's probably going to be rainy out, but that's okay. Plenty of stuff to keep us entertained. I'm sure we'll have some tunes. Excuse me, and some great company. All right, so you guys didn't listen to this podcast to hear me talk about all my weekend plans. That's not what you're here for. You're here for the food. So I want to get right to it. What do you see here? This is hot bagels ahead. Fresh off the presses, I guess you could say, fresh off the grill. Excuse me 1 second. I wet my whistle a little bit. Just was exchanging texts with my friend Michael Panchansky, owner of Nosh New York Bagels over in the Riverwalk in Ridgeland. Nosh is open for business on Hilton Head Island. So where can you find that? You can find that in the Village at Wexford Shopping Center, in the old space that was formerly occupied by Odd Birds Bakes. And as you can see here, there is a pickup window right outside there. So this is if you're going south, this is like the second section of Village at Wexford. One of the more prominent retail, if not the prominent retail space on Hilton Head Island. You could check out Nosh. So I do this off of Google Photos, and Google Photos sometimes takes a while to back up the videos. But what I can do is I can take you to my Facebook page, and I can show you the video. I was not over there today, but like I said, I was talking to Michael, and he mentioned that today was the day. So I want to show you. Let's see if this works. Getting the audio from this, you may or may not. Hopefully you are. But this is the space. All right. So that's that. Pretty cool, right, guys? Not really any indoor space in terms of seating space, but you can 100% grab your bagel. There is plenty of seating outside there. Bear with me one second. And I mean, a bagel thing. Yeah, obviously there's some seating over in the Ridgeland section over in the Riverwalk, but this one on the island does not have any indoor seating. So you are going to grab your bagels, take them with you to go. And of course, if you want to, have a seat, there's plenty of tables. The right outside there, those kind of like wire, they're actually pretty comfortable, actually. Hold on one second. We got a lot of things coming in fast and furious. I know I like overuse Fast and Furious. It's not just because I celebrate the entire catalog, but there's really a lot of enjoy every sandwich stuff coming back and forth. And I'm actually trying to see if we can get a little surprise for you guys. But we will come back to that. So I posted a teaser for today's podcast. I had a Huey Lewis tune in my mind the other day. That's why I used it for my post. I think it was I Need a New Drug. I what I don't need after this next week or two is I don't need any more sandwiches. Every single one that I've had is awesome, but I definitely need to take a break because I am living on Tums, and I'm not eating all of these sandwiches, by the way. I'm taking a couple bites and sharing them with RJ and my wife and other various guests and things like that. But still, it's a lot, just like it was a lot to do 40 soups in a couple of weeks. It's a lot to do 40 sandwiches, but I'm grateful to each and every restaurant, food truck, private chef that participated. And we got a couple really fun ones next week that I'm excited to share with you guys. But just to close the loop on that, again, Nosh is open on Hilton Head Island. Skip the line, order online. As you can see, they got a ton of stuff over there for you guys. So I hope that you are going to indulge in some Nosh New York bagels. Back to the Huey Lewis of it all. I said, I got some Huey Lewis on the brain. So we stuck with it and wrote it out through today, where I did the teaser with of Back to the Future. Shout out my buddy Kevin Valek, who loves Back to the Future more than anyone I know, probably. Got to get back in time. I got to figure out one of these days so I could put some of these drops in here, but then you always have to worry about copyright issues or whatever. So enjoy every sandwich. We're going to get right to it. I want to blow through this. We're already kind of 15 minutes into here. I want to try to wrap things up in the next half hour or so that I can get onward to get some stuff for later with a barbecue with some friends in New Riverside. And then, of course, getting together with the family on Sunday. Monday, hopefully a whole lot of nada. Let's take it from not the top, well, really the bottom in terms of our itinerary, but let's take it from the top with this is a cheesesteak from Butcher's Market in Delhi. This actually was a sandwich that RJ got. It was a dealer's choice. Our friend Diana at Butcher's Market said, you got to try the cheesesteak. This cheesesteak is on an Amoroso roll. It's delicious. What they do is they take the prime ribeye and they freeze it only for the purposes of so that they could freeze it. They even off the ends and then they freeze it so that they could shave it, because obviously it's much easier to deal with if you're shaving the steak if it's firmer. So they freeze it so that they can shave it and then make you these amazing cheesesteaks. Those again are on the Amoroso rolls, but this bad boy is on a semolina roll. This is from Malone and Sons Bakery in Staten Island. You're going to want to remember that for the previous stop here that we're going to get to in a second. But you see some home made, the handcuff fries there are spectacular with the sea salt. Diana said, you got to try this jalapeno cheddar brat. And RJ was talking over to the butcher on the other side, and I cut this thing open, and it was like Vesuvius of, all the best things. Let me see if I can zoom in on that actually for you and just move it over. You see, right over here, I cut that little elbow, and it was just I was like, RJ, you got to get over here. so that we get this on camera. That was incredible. I did not eat the whole thing. I just had a bite or two. And take a closer look at this sandwich, which is the signature Butcher's Market Low Country Pesto Cutlet, chicken cutlet, fresh mozzarella, pesto, and some roasted peppers on there as well, which you could see from the side pic. Look at that beautiful yellowish semolina bread. That's got some balsamic glaze on it as well. Keep an eye out for Butcher's Market with these daily sandwich specials. There's usually a couple, and they will be covering this one through the end of the month on the Enjoy Every Sandwich tour. Prior spot to that, we were out in Sandfly, and we're not starting with the greatest picture here, but the reason why I'm showing you this one is because when we were on our way out there, RJ was asking me about seeded Italian bread. And I remember that Rocky's had it because he has moved on as well to the semolina from Malone and Sons up in Staten Island. But they do have this seeded bread at Rocky's, and it is spectacular. I actually want to go back out here. I want to go into when I was there. I was able to snap some incredible pictures, including this beautiful seeded bread, including this fresh batch of the semolina bread. A little browner on that one, but still, I mean, perfect. You should have seen the comments on Facebook about this bread. Shout out, of course, to the Sopranos, more specifically Vito Spatafor. I wanted to bring this up while we're talking about bagels. That's over here in Hilton Head and Bluffton. But if you're looking for bagels out in Savannah, Billy Vesicchio, the owner of Rocky's Deli, has recently acquired a bagel product from these are hand-rolled and kettle-boiled Davidovich bagels of New York City and New Jersey. You can buy them individually with a schmear. You can buy them by the dozen. And then, of course, you can also get them par-baked, frozen, and you can, let's see, by the dozen. They do it to order, so you just have to allow up to 30 minutes is what it says. Everything, rainbow, cinnamon raisin, egg bagels, which I love. I love a nice egg everything. Plain bagels, poppy, onion, sesame, and Asiago. The Asiago bagel is what they're using at Nosh for the lumberjack sandwich. And thanks again to my buddy Michael Pachansky, the owner of Nosh, for hooking up a half a dozen special order egg everything bagels for the Mother's Day festivities a couple weeks ago. Look at this sausage. I mean, you can just smell it when you're standing there on the counter. This salami, this hot sopressata, basically, sausage salami used interchangeably among the Italians. But the Pied de Resistance on a Parm Friday, which was back, they were buzzing when we finally got there a little after 1 o'clock. Things had finally calmed down, quieted down a little bit. They do chicken parm, eggplant parm, meatball parm, sometimes veal parm on Fridays. They did not do it last week because they had some equipment issues, and they get slammed with catering orders. Sometimes they just got to close early or close, for the day to keep up with that stuff. But I told Billy, I said, dude, the reason why you're jammed up today is because people didn't have their parms last week, so they were clamoring for them. But on a Parm Friday at Rocky's Deli, we ate New York style. We are New York. Fact, Jack. They are looking for counter help as well, for front of the house employees. So if you're looking for work, you want to check these guys out. That's a great team. And of course, they carry all these pastosa raviolis, catering by the tray, and all the other good stuff as well. Pastrami, corned beef, all made on the premises. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering. This is RJ's sandwich, and again, on that seeded bread, this is the Lee Mazzilli, which is, I said to Billy a while back, I said, really the only puzzle piece that was missing on your menu was your standard prosciutto, fresh mozzarella, roasted peppers with balsamic. That's what RJ got, but look at this bad boy on that freshly baked semolina bread. As you said, I was talking to Billy about how we did the close-ups, and, the sun was like glistening off, it was like shining off of this, this Italian this semolina bread. I mean, it was literally just like glistening off of that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, this sandwich was absolutely incredible. It's got that hot sopressata. Again, this is the Vito Spatafor. So this was named after Joseph Ganascoli of The Sopranos. Vito Spatafor, named after him, named by him. Excuse me again, folks. Very, very thirsty today. That guava Sao Paulo, by the way, La Croix, highly recommend. One of my favorite ones. So, I mean, just look at that. Look at the cross section of this Vito with these beautiful chicken cutlets stacked up, the sopressata. Again, these sandwiches are similar in that they're chicken cutlet sandwiches, one in Bluffton, one out in Sandfly and Savannah. Both slightly different. Of course, you got the sopressat, you got the provolone on this one as opposed to the fresh mozzarella. But yeah, you got to check out Rocky's menu. It's insane in terms of the options that you have there. And I enjoyed this with a San Pellegrino limonata. RJ had the aranciata, the orange flavor. Delicious and really just always a good time over at Rocky's. I got to head back out there with my brother soon so that we can do our usual Friday or Saturday jaunt out to Sandfly to get some Rocky's New York Deli. Okay, so prior to that, we were in Starland. You just saw it. Gave you a little sneak peek at the shrimp salad sandwich for $21. This is at the Laundry Diner, brought to you by our friends from Two Tides Brewing Company, Float Coffee, Crispy Smash Burger Truck. Shout out James and Liz Massey out off on an adventure with their son. I hope they're having an absolute blast, and thank you for their support and for the team at the Laundry Diner for being such gracious hosts with us as we recorded our spotlight video yesterday in the upstairs bar. This is the shrimp salad po' boy that you're going to get at the Laundry Diner. This place was slammed. I mean, we got there at the stroke of noon. We went upstairs. There was a couple of people seated upstairs, but downstairs was packed. There was people waiting for a table the whole time. Not waiting long, but just a steady flow, a bombardment of people. It's been like this since they opened a year ago after several years of trials and tribulation. We talked, it's one thing that we talked about, the things that they went through with the fire and then the water, putting the fire out. It was pretty crazy. I don't know what this is, but if I get one more of these from this dude, he's out of here. It was zero tolerance policy for nonsense on this program. So that's another look at it. They get that fresh local Georgia shrimp. You got the pickled onions on there. You got the cool, crisp lettuce. And then, of course, the French fries at the Laundry Diner are awesome. I love those. I've gotten the poutine. I always forget how to pronounce that. I think it's poutine. Which is a bad word in Italy, so somebody's going to bust my chops for that. Maybe one of my friends over at Radici. Anyway, poutine, fine, whatever it is. The fries are great. You got that pickle on the side, delicious. This was awesome. I want to back out of here for 1 second so that I can give a shout out to the laundry. The menu has just been going crazy at the Laundry Diner. I loved this place to begin with, ever since it opened. And then they've just continued to get, crazier and crazier with the stuff that they have. I mean, it's every bit of 3 or 4 pages. The dessert menu alone is going to drive you insane. I had a tallow fried foie gras donut. I'm going to try to show you that real quick because that thing, I had it for dessert last night after I got back. Look at this donut. Tallow fried with foie gras pastry cream inside with like a caramel shell on top of it, sea salt. I mean, just incredible. Actually, I think I can give you the cross section of that too. As I was watching the basketball game last night. Look at that pastry cream coming out of there. Is that exciting or what? Yeah, Laundry Diner. I mean, come on. It is it's incredible. And again, just to come back to that pastry menu, this is just, it's dangerous. You get a scoop of ice cream on any of this stuff. You've got happy hour with the waffles. It's just, all these incredible drinks. I got a lemon whip, which they didn't have when I went there last, because they circulate these flavors. So they didn't have the lemon whip. Full bar, by the way. I mean, cocktails, spirits, milkshakes, whatever. They didn't have the this was the hash bowl that RJ enjoyed, short rib hash. Awesome presentation. Um the let's see here. The color changing on the cup that they use for that. It was just delicious. And I didn't take pictures of all the whatever. You guys can find that stuff online. That's easy enough for you to find. But again, I'm just constantly amazed at how much, more stuff they're coming out with over there at the Laundry Diner. So that was it for Friday. Let's go back to Thursday, where we wrapped things up at not Side Hustle, at we were at Side Hustle this week. And that's where we left off, I think, with you guys with that reggae smash with Danielle Brown, Piece of Yard and Abroad. But this is the hot honey chicken waffle from Chef Wendell at Food Savvy. I'm going to give you guys a moment just to indulge in that. I mean, he has these, like, some of the coolest things that happen in kitchens and in food trucks is when a chef stumbles upon something. So Wendell had a big event out at OpFob in Ridgeland a couple of weeks ago that he was telling me about, and he wanted to do sliders. And so he ordered these little waffle things where they kind of come together, but they're like in a quadrant of like 4, as you see in this picture. There you have my black cherry from lot 9 in the background. But if you see this is all one piece, right? So it actually worked out perfectly for assembling a sandwich that has 2 chicken tenders. So you're seeing one tender on this side with that hot honey sauce, which was awesome. So I was able to actually just, again, a lot of times I share these, specifically with RJ, who's doing all the recording. So I was able to break this guy in half and share that with him. Black cherry, I did not share because I'm addicted to that stuff. I did not have a beer the other day, but there was, I mean, it was 5 o'clock. It was already getting crazy as usual over at lot 9. All right, let's keep it moving. Back into heading back into Old Town. Right before they stopped serving lunch at 4 o'clock, we were able to grab the caprese chicken from Joel. Look at that beautiful caprese chicken sandwich, fresh mozzarella, scusi, tomato, beautiful chicken cutlet, pesto, balsamic. You got that beautifully dressed salad on the side with the shaved fennel. And on a sunny afternoon, what better drink to spotlight at Joel than this beautiful Aperol Spritz? I was telling the bartender how I was attended the one of the heritage parties. It was sponsored by the Beth Drake team. Shout out my friend Betsy Maxwell McDaniel from WHHI, who's also working with the Beth Drake team. They had a dispenser for the Aperol Spritz, which is incredible. Authentic Italian product. Does not come cheap, and it is not electronic. It is just gravity, but that thing was awesome. I had a couple of those at the Heritage. Shout out to those guys for putting on a great party. Great food and drink in a great location. I'm going to put this caprese chicken sandwich back up there for you. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can take a closer look at that. I love Joel. I love all their sandwiches. I love their pizzas. In case you didn't know, you can actually get those pizzas to take out if you're interested. I know pizza's a hot button topic for a lot of people around here, but those bar pies at Joel are spectacular. Rewind to the farmer's market. So we spent a couple hours in Old Town on Thursday, and the last place that we left off was with the Euro to End All Euros. That's my friend Elena Hewley from Two Birds Greek Street Food, holding up this work of art with the Euro meat, that lamb Euro meat, their homemade tzatziki, tomatoes, onions, the beautiful feta that she sources, which is only the best feta from Two Birds Greek Street Food. If you haven't tried their pasta salad, I highly recommend that you try it. It's got pepperoncinis in it and olives and feta. There's the sandwich again. There's the Euro again with you see that she's got the tzatziki underneath. She got the feta. She's got that pepperoncini over on the other side. If you're into the Mad Greek, which I am, because it has like a jalapeno feta that's a little spicy, and she uses pepperoncini instead of the tomatoes and onions, but can really have it your way. Go back another picture deeper. Actually, I mean, either one of those, you see that spanakopita in the background, which they go through a lot of that stuff. I mean, a lot of times by 3:30, they're running low on a lot of this stuff because they get that, what I call the school pizza line, going right across the parking lot at Martin Family Park. If we walk right back across that parking lot, we go over to the Bridge Collective. We spent a couple of minutes with Chef Bernard Bennett, my man over at Ocon Bluffton, for the Ocon cheesesteak. This is braised pork shoulder with lamb merguez sausage, sliced ham, pickled onions, pickles, which is a Haitian slaw that is spectacular. That's Pikliz, pickles, and mustard that I didn't really like. It didn't register until I got back into the car, and RJ shared this one with me. He had the other half, and he made a comment about how that mustard was really like not overly spicy, really the perfect amount of spice. So that sandwich packed a punch. That had some heat to it. Nice crispy bread. There's another look at that for you. I knew Chef Bernard wasn't going to mess around when it came to this. He is incredibly talented. He's got a great team over there. They have a lot of fun events and things like that. And the one thing that you're going to get with his food is it's going to be super colorful. And it is going to have, the finest ingredients. I know that for a fact. Hashtag WCW. If you know, you know. Just a banger from Double B, Bernard Bennett over at Ocon. Go check that out. And thank you to, we had a couple of submissions, and this was one of them on for the contest, and that came through from Linda Cam, who basically she submitted two yesterday. She submitted the Ocon sandwich and then also that chicken cutlet sandwich at Butcher's Market. So she's got a couple of entries. You guys remember, from tomorrow, you got a week left to submit your photos for the skyscraper size grand prize named after the skyscraper size sandwich at Grooby's Deli. So submit those pictures on Instagram or Facebook. Tag us at EatHHI on Instagram or the Indulgent Islander on Facebook, and enter for your chance to win. Back to the sandwiches. If you're going to the Old Town Bluffton, to the farmer's market of Bluffton in Old Town on Thursdays, there is an institution on Calhoun Street that you might want to just grab some breakfast or lunch at, and that is our friends at the Cottage Cafe, Bakery, and Tea Room. So Chef Leslie is, we talked about her with the Ambassadors program. She is legendary in this town, both with Cottage, with the Bluffton Pasta Shop, with Juice Hive, with May River Coffee Roasters, and she decided to throw down on the sandwich tour with Muffaletta May Madness. So you have this tavern ham, you have the capicola, you have the I should probably have this memorized by now, considering I've eaten two versions of this. But what I was getting at is that, she put a lot of time and effort into not just what was in this sandwich, but also what the contents and, quantities of certain things. So this thing, is a beast, and I'm going to show you a closer up shot of it. The first time that I had it, it was on this bread. It wasn't quite as thick, And so we were kind of workshopping it in the back there. And she said, this is capicola, Genoa salami, tavern ham, a Fontina, I believe, Gruyere blend, but definitely a Fontina blend. I think she said it was with Gruyere, caramelized red onion, traditional Orleans olive relish. And so they were messing around with the quantities of the meats on this because she felt like that it wasn't enough on the first one. And she said we were getting this this new bread, and the customers were saying that the actual muffaletta bread was a little bit too thick. So just something that like I said, took them a little while to get to this finished product. But let me just tell you, I ate this thing on Thursday, and it was mouth-watering. I sat right outside the back door of the little cottage, the back room that they have in the back. And I mean, this thing was absolutely delicious. It was the perfect, ratio of meat to cheese to bread. Shout out to them for again another banger. And if you just didn't notice that, you get Bloody Marys, they have a full bar. So I indulged in a beer actually the other day, and it was exactly what the doctor ordered, if you will, on a hot summer, almost summer day in Old Town Bluffton. Let's keep it moving. We're going to go to, we still have to do Wednesday, and I believe, because I think I recorded, I think it was Monday before I headed out. But anyway, we're going to keep going back. I think I'm going to be able to remember where we last left off. This was the reggae smash at Piece of Yard and Abroad at Side Hustle Brewing. That was Wednesday afternoon. They had a line dancing event. Excuse me. This burger was awesome. This burger had smash patties, fried plantains. It had jerk chicken. It had special jerk aioli. You see there's pineapple on there, some chopped peppers up in there. Just incredible. The flavor of this thing, obviously a little bit of a sweetness to it. Really enjoyed it. Again, that is Piece of Yard and Abroad. Pay attention to his socials. I want to head back to the island. I want to show you guys the deconstructed version of this Tuscan burger at Tin and Tallow. That is the edition 99. It is called the Tuscan Trail. It's a smash patty. I did a double, but it's topped with melted provolone cheese, slow cooked pork shank, which I have on the picture here before that. I wanted you guys to see this burger from the inside, just to see, so you can see how much exactly is going on. Excuse me. Slow cooked pork shank, spring mix, tossed in a house-made hazelnut lemon yogurt dressing, pickled red onions, and bacon sauce, served on focaccia bread. This thing was awesome. We did a video for the Riley Ranch burger that you're going to see also from edition 98. That one was made with strawberry whipped goat cheese, named after a Riley Ranch where they feed the goats strawberries, interestingly enough. But this Tuscan smash, I'll show this to you on Tin and Tallow's Facebook page. I mean, just look at this thing. I'm going to go in as deep as I can. Yeah, there we go. I mean, this thing, come on. Incredible. Shout out to Chef Tyler Bowdish for really just stepping it up with the creativity. They're doing a chicken parm egg roll with this one as we record here on Saturday, May 23rd. That is going to be available through tomorrow, which is Sunday, May 24th. Tin and Tallow is closed on Monday, so they will be closed for Memorial Day. But go check that out while you get it. And, stay tuned because edition 100 is going to be coming up next week. I can't wait to see what he comes up with for that. But look at this. Just look at that pork that's on that burger. It's just incredible. Slow cooked pork shank. Wow. All right. Let's keep it moving. So, we're we went to Water Walk Wednesday afternoon, I believe. Yes. And this was the Maine style lobster roll. I don't know why I clicked that direction. This is the Maine lobster roll at Low Country Lobster Truck. Jack and Michelle took great care of us. Again, beautiful day to sit right outside there in front of the Water Walk. If you are looking for waterside living, you're going to want to check that out. Very, very cool spot. Follow the Low Country Lobster socials to see where they're going to be posting up, because they go to a lot of cool spots as well, neighborhoods, as well as different events and things like that. This was the warm lobster roll. I mean, look at all that claw meat. I mean, it's like legit, guys. The amount of lobster that you get on this. I know lobster rolls are like kind of like a hot button issue, but for $25, you get that. You get the coleslaw, you get the lime wedge, and you get a bag of Cape Cod potato chips. How could you beat that? I thought both of them were awesome. So go check them out. I don't know what took me so long to eat those lobster rolls, being that Portland, Maine is my home away from home, but I'm glad that I finally got around to it, and I can't wait to try more of their menu. We are going back to the South End to Cafe Al Dente of New York City with a chicken. This is a chicken cutlet panini. It's with a vodka dipper. So you see that beautiful focaccia bread, that big hunk of fresh mozzarella on there. You got the chicken cutlet. Get a little ahead of myself, but you got the vodka sauce dipper. You got Chef Michael Fitzhugh's Calabrian chili crisp to go with that as well. Highly recommend. I spread it a little bit on there if you're into the heat. And then this is a speckled, it's a salad on the side. I believe it's a speckled lima bean and artichoke. That was awesome too. Nice. I love when you get a nice cool salad to offset a nice warm sandwich. So a little bit of fresh basil on the side there. That's another one that's coming up soon, guys. If you're into Italian food, and if you're into Cafe Al Dente or you're going to want to keep an eye out. We are going to be recording a podcast with Chef Michael, where we are going to be at the new location in New Riverside, which is weeks away from opening. And we are going to do it from the Lion's Den, if you will, right from the new Cafe Al Dente at New Riverside Village, I believe they call it. Bella Italia. We finally got to Bella Italia on Wednesday. This is the meatball and cheese. Speaking of a side salad, delicious pasta salad with salami, carrots, olives, everything. A little bit of oil and vinegar on the side if you want to dress that up. And the meatball and cheese, I'll tell you, meatball parmesan is something that holds a special place in my heart. I don't have too many of them down here. This one was legit. This is their signature sandwich. This bread was like, freshly baked, nice and warm, crispy on the outside, warm on the inside. Here's another view at that from the top. Again, nice fresh roll, nice warm soft roll. You got the tricolor rotini pasta salad on the side. This thing was great. Back into Bluffton for Sippin' Cow with their cranberry walnut chicken salad, bib lettuce, tomato on a beautiful croissant. This is the presentation for that. A nice fresh strawberry on the side. Sorry for shaking the desk here. I almost got excited there looking at this thing. This thing was fresh, fruity, flavorful, everything that you could possibly want. That is the only chicken salad sandwich on the tour. Give you another look at that. You take a closer look. You got the onion in there. You got the tomato, lettuce. That chicken was super fresh. The cranberries, the walnuts. I'm not big into fruit and nuts in my food, but I'll tell you guys, that was a nice one. Prior to that, out here in Bluffton, where I live in Lawton Station, we've had Flatbread Grill for a while. Chef Ken Rowan throws in the Nashville hot chicken sandwich, which is incredible. There's that full view of that with the pickles, not only inside of it with that cool, crisp coleslaw, but also piled on top. That sandwich was great. Loved the bread. Loved the crisp on the chicken cutlet. Was so good. Just like the crisp with the coleslaw, just like the pickles. You could have put 5 times as many pickles on this thing, and I still wouldn't have complained. Sorry, Campfire Tyler, but I love me some pickles. There's another view from this one from the top. As soon as it was served, they got great fries there too. I mean, look at it's that velvety texture. If you really like Nashville hot sauce, that velvety texture is really what gets me, in addition to the sweetness and also to the heat. So we're gonna have to wrap this thing up soon because I got some errands to run. Let's see. This is probably okay. I think I know where we finished. So we're going to take you through just a couple quick more. This is a cheesesteak, or at least the no, this is a close-up shot of the Big Dom. This is from Dominic's, which we recorded at Home Depot. I'm hoping to snag another one over at Lowe's so that we can go see Kyle. I believe is the one that posts over in Dominic's too. But we had a great little spotlight video with Chase English, the owner of Dominic's Steaks and Italian Sausages. We were joined by his son Oliver. It was a nice treat. RJ had the idea to get because him and his son were working hard in the truck, about to wrap up the day, and RJ said, "Let's see, does he want to do the video with us?" And Oliver was down, and we had a really nice conversation with Chase. This is the best cheesesteak in the area, in my opinion. This one is topped with Italian sausage. I went spicy. You see, there's some hot cherry peppers that he gave me that's below here. Those he gave to me on the side. Those things are nuclear, not for the faint at heart, but I loved them. And I got to be honest, the cheesesteak topped with the Italian sausage was really, there's another look at that. I mean, there's no real clean way to take a picture of a cheesesteak, but the way that he does it with the peppers and the onions, I mean, it's just incredible. This thing, the Big Dom, again, for those of you who aren't football fans, Big Dom is the guy that's on the sidelines with the Eagles and, had a couple of run-ins with a couple of players a couple of years ago, whatever. But he looks hysterical, and or he is hysterical. And what a great sandwich to tribute to him from, Philly-style cheesesteaks over at the Home Depot and Lowe's. Okay, so slider bar. This is the Wagyu Chicago-style Italian beef dip served wet. We got Chef Pete. We got Pete Palladino, the owner of Slider Bar, is the brains behind this masterpiece. We got him to join us on the spotlight video. I only included one picture of this one, and I didn't put in he has awesome fries too, and we munched on those. But this thing, if I could pan, am I able to pan out? No, this is as far back as it'll go. But if you pan in, you could see like all this river of au jus in the background. You can get this sandwich served as you like. If you want to add cheese to it, they can add cheese. That's probably what I would do next time. But as is, this thing was awesome. You got the sport peppers, you got the peppers, you got the okra or whatever the Italian peppers, the sweet peppers. It looks like okra. That's not what it is. Celery, the sweet peppers, the green peppers, the carrot. This is a jardiniere. This is a spicy, like almost like an Italian, spicy vegetable salad that they use in Chicago. And this one was served wet. So he set up the sandwich. This is a full-size sandwich. He set up the sandwich. He poured the au jus on top of it. What they usually do is they'll take the entire sandwich and they'll dip it in these juices. You don't have to get it served wet. You don't have to get it dipped. You don't have to get it, with the juice served on top. But, I took a step back from the counter, took a nice wide stance. I devoured this thing. I got it all over me, and I don't really care because it was awesome. Shout out to Pete for really throwing down. I think the last one that we have for this one is the chicken bacon ranch at Alvin Ord's. I wanted to get a picture of this. This was another customer that got the large. So the large, if I take this off the screen, is basically going to be like this. It's like literally, and I have a pretty big head, guys. So this is the large sandwich at, the circumference of the large sandwich at Alvin Ord's. It starts out with the small, the medium is what I went with, and then the large, which they cut into 6 pieces, like basically like it's a pizza. That thing is awesome. That was the cross section of mine on this beautiful French bread with the sliced chicken, the 3 cheese blend, lettuce, tomato, bacon, and of course the ranch. That thing was awesome. And yeah, this was let's see. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that we covered everything. Yeah, we did, because I think we recorded this um the last one Tuesday morning. Just want to make sure that we get everybody the love that they deserve. I'm going to just look up the channel. And when was the last time that we recorded playlists? Okay. So, yeah, 4 days ago. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, so we recorded Tuesday morning. So you guys have gotten everything through Monday, and now you have everything that we have done from Tuesday through Friday as we stand here Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, or as I like to call it, the Memorial Day weekend. Here we are on May 23rd, 2026, paying tribute to the one and only Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt. I want to show you guys one more thing. So I went out for a special pre-birthday dinner with the wife last night, and we went somewhere that we have been really looking forward to going for quite some time, which is St. Bibiana. St. Bibiana is in the hotel that was formerly known as the Drayton. It's now known as Hotel Bardo. They sat us in this dining room. We were by ourselves for a couple minutes, and then it started to fill in. This was an early dinner because we were going to a candlelight concert at the DeSoto with the music of Hans Zimmer, which was a real treat. But the quick dinner that we had at St. Bibiana was awesome. They came out with this focaccia situation with the onion was the one, and then the other one was a rosemary. I tried one of each. I thought it was awesome. Just a couple of pieces of focaccia for us each. Joss went with the Negroni on the cocktail specials, which she enjoyed. But this was my martini, which is a vodka gin blend and a little sidecar of a couple of olives, a pepper, a lemon, of course. What do they call those again? My bartending skills have eroded. Lemon twist, and then a little bit of a sprig of dill there. And then we went right into it. The crudo was a hamachi situation with a strawberry infused, whatever this was, the way that he sold it to me, with a white something miso. I don't even remember what it was. Whatever it is, it's going to be on the menu. Go there, get it, thank me later. That's all you need to know. The burrata with the blackberries was divine, with this pesto, whatever emulsion underneath, and there's some crystallized sea salt on there as well. That thing was awesome. And then this was the cavatelli, which is probably their signature, with the andouille. I talked Jocelyn into getting this. She was going to get the bolognese, and I said, you might want to rethink that. Not that there'd be anything wrong with that, but these are their two popular ones. I went with the mushroom pasta. This was a dream. I did not finish this. I cannot wait to finish the leftovers later. And of course, we also went with the fazzoletti, which is those thick ribbons with the cacio e pepe and that egg yolk on top. What a freaking awesome dinner at St. Bibiana before we attended the candlelight concert at the DeSoto with the music of Hans Zimmer, which was awesome. Incredible playlist over there. Songs from Gladiator. I said it would have been, for me, it would have been worth the price of admission alone for the for Inception, Gladiator, Interstellar. They did, and then also what was the other one that The Dark Knight. I mean, I'm a Batman guy through and through, and the performance of the Dark Knight, of A Dark Knight from The Dark Knight, was just incredible. So shout out to them. If you're interested in something like that, you can find it. Candlelight concerts. They actually travel. They're not just in Savannah. This was at the DeSoto, and the second stage that they were getting around to was the or the second show that was at 8:45 was music from the Coldplay and Imagine Dragons. I know I have to cut down on the ums, guys. I promise I'm gonna do a better job with that. I need to breathe and stop trying to talk so fast, but we had a lot that we had to cover. Again, for the Indulgent Islander presents Enjoy Every Sandwich. You have until a week from tomorrow, at the end of next Sunday, you have to enter your photographs to win the Skyscraper Grand Prize, named after the skyscraper size sandwich at Gruby's New York Deli. So go and do that. You have all of the information that you need at theindulgentislander.com. Just go to the events page. I'm happy to show you that again now. Again, here it is. The Indulgent Islander, Enjoy Every Sandwich 2026 begins. These are all the sandwiches that are on the tour. This has been updated. We have one that has not been announced yet, which is going to be Hidden Egg Cafe over in Daddy-O's. Spoke to Stan last night. We should have an announcement for you guys on that in a couple of days. But again, indulgentislander.com. Go to the homepage. Go to upcoming events. Scroll down. You're going to see it all here. But you can click this view event button. It'll take you to the Enjoy Every Sandwich page. Get those submissions in. All right. Well, here we are. We did a whole hour. Before I let you go, just a couple of quick toys. There's my Bray Wyatt action figure right there with a lantern. I got action figures all around me, but yeah, I like looking at these things because it brings back fond memories of people like Bray, who have been tremendous influences in my life. There's another one. Shout out my guy, Rob Schamberger, designed this one. This is a painting, a print of a painting that I purchased from him. I have a lot of Rob Schamberger's art. There's Bray holding the lantern. Happy birthday, Bray. Happy heavenly birthday. We miss you, man. All right. Coming up on an hour. I think it's time for me to go. That's all I got. We are going to be back tomorrow morning. We're shooting for 11 o'clock with Chef Ray Robertson from the Darling Oyster Bar in Savannah. We hope you guys are going to enjoy that one. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go Knicks tonight in Cleveland, up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I might have another special treat for you guys tomorrow afternoon as well. We're going to see what happens. We might need you guys to throw those ones up. Speaking of which, that's the Uncle Howdy mask. I was going to take that off. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get it off the way that I have it rigged to my thing. But there's the Uncle Howdy mask. There's the Bray Butterfly logo right below it. And that's all. So I'm going to get these dreads off. And I am going to get to the store so that I can get some stuff for tonight's barbecue. So keep in touch, guys. Again, thanks for all your support. I got some really nice comments this week, which I greatly appreciate. And let's keep it rolling. We got, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 8 days left in the contest as we roll deep into Memorial Day weekend here on the Indulgent Islander. That's all I got. Stay hungry, my friends. I never know which side I'm at. I think I go this side, right? Stay hungry, my friends. Indulgent Islander out. Enjoy Every Sandwich 2026. Peace.